Hey everyone, this is David Amell with Android Authority, and today we're taking a look at the Nokia 8 Sirocco. Now, this is the flagship of the new series of phones from Nokia, and the company makes that pretty obvious with its high-end specs and its striking form factor. The body reminds us a lot of the Xiaomi Mi Note 2 with its curved glass, which bleeds over the edges. Now, this happens on both sides of the phone, and it does leave the sides of the device feeling a bit sharp. The buttons are also a little bit difficult to press since there's not that much gripping area, but I think Nokia was thinking more about style in this case. While this looks really striking and it gives the impression that this is a very premium device, we do have some worries that it wouldn't be very practical in everyday use. Everything about this phone is premium though. From its nearly completely glass body to its flagship level specs list, I don't think there's a person on the planet that wouldn't see this device as a luxury. It might not be the newest Qualcomm Snapdragon 845, but with a Snapdragon 835, 6GB of RAM, and 128GB of storage, the Sirocco really shouldn't have any problems burning through apps and games. This is all powering a 2K OLED panel, and it just looks fantastic. Colors are striking and vibrant, and I would honestly take this display over my Pixel 2 XL any day of the week. It's a 16:9 aspect ratio, so it's not as bezel-less as other flagships, but it's also a bit shorter than a lot of the other flagships on the market right now. I like it though, because it makes the phone feel a little bit more manageable to hold. The glass body also allows for things like wireless charging and IP67 water resistance, and it really feels like Nokia left out very few things in this phone, save the poor headphone jack that we're all missing dearly. This has somehow become a trend for high-end devices though, so it's not exactly an unusual move. There is a fingerprint reader inlaid into the back, right below the dual 12 and 13 megapixel telephoto lens combo, which is made by Zeiss Optics. Now, while I haven't had the phone long enough to give you a detailed rundown of the camera's quality, we'll be able to do that in the full review to come. I'll always welcome a telephoto zoom option over a software crop though, so this is great to see. There is an option to take a Bothy, which is kind of like a simultaneous front and back camera shutter. Now, I can't see myself using this that often, but it does make sense if you want to show yourself reacting to a scene in front of you. Hardware is really only part of this story though, and software can often be a huge part of the experience. This phone's running Android 1, and that means that it's running one of the cleanest versions of Android out there. Almost every one of the apps on this phone is made by Google, and it feels just as, if not more, clean than a Pixel. There's only 18 apps installed on this phone by default, which leaves a clean slate for however you really want to personalize your Android device. The Nokia 8 Sirocco might not be running Qualcomm's latest chipset, but it is a solid option for people who just want to use a nice piece of art every day, assuming they are willing to pay that €749 price point. Make sure you stay tuned to Android Authority to keep up with our coverage of MWC and beyond, and follow our social to stay up to date with what we're up to. Because of course, we are your source for all things Android.